Hey, what's up, guys? Books Nelson here, back with another breakdown. And today we'll be talking about the upcoming Regal set with the new GOAT series LeBron James. As predicted, there probably won't be any more GOAT cards 6'6 or under. I think it'll most likely be probably Magic and Wilt Chamberlain. And that Magic at point guard will probably have a fantastic jumper to go along with being 6'9, and likely very similar to this LeBron James card in a lot of ways. But for now, we have the LeBron as expected. So let's go into the content and discuss what is coming up tomorrow. So first things first, we have Dark Matter Lamar Odom is a viable card. That's actually going to be pretty great, most likely. Lamar was pretty good. He does need some SIG improvements. His shot is more than usable. And I think at the Dark Matter level, we should see a really good small forward. This is probably the best small forward you will have ever been able to buy outright in my team. Cam Reddish should also be very good. Same thing for Darius Miles. And even Galaxy Opal Duncan Robinson will likely be a very, very good shooter. I don't know if he plays anywhere, even amongst the free cards, possibly. But I will say, in terms of lock-ins, this set is looking really, really good. If you are at this point in the year and you don't have wings you're happy with, I would still say overall of these cards in terms of two guard, Cam Reddish is going to be able to play the two. Even over some of these cards, I think that Dr. J is still the move over these cards. But, we got a Father's Day event as well. Hold on. This weekend we celebrate fathers and sons. New 99 overall cards added. Larry Nance, you can add them both to your collection by completing new agenda groups. Very interesting. So another two-guarder, Rick Barry. Rick Barry usually has some terrible animations, though. Hopefully they get on top of that. And Larry Nance should be pretty good at the small forward position. And there will be evolutions to existing fathers and sons players. So we have that to look forward to as well. So that should be pretty cool. And these evolve into opals. John Barry, Seth Curry. These are small cards that nobody cares about. These are all terrible. Maybe Larry Nance Jr. Going to an opal will be okay. And then Dark Matter. Let's see. Del Curry should be all right. Juwan Howard, all right. Mirage Scottie Pippen. This could be a really good one, actually. To a Dark Matter, a free Dark Matter Scottie Pippen, that should be fantastic. And lift off, lift off Glenn Robinson should be okay. But yeah, and these will be, if you don't have these cards, these are all very affordable cards. So basically, nearly free Dark Matters. I'll tell you what, my no money spend account, this Scottie Pippen is going to be 100% picked up. And hopefully the evolution is not crazy. But yeah, that's actually pretty exciting. Pretty cool. And obviously free Jerry West this week. So let's see what else. So the lock-ins all look pretty good to me. But here on the other side, we have some terrible news. Because we already have a free Jimmy Butler. I don't expect this Jimmy Butler to be significantly better than the Dark Matter. Cade Cunningham's going to be good. He definitely needs Pro 2 leaner. If he has Pro 2 leaner, he's going to be one of the best point guards in the game, for sure. This Ray Allen, I think this Ray Allen is going to stink. He's just too small. And he's never had like super good animations in any way. Dark Matter Big Z should be pretty good. So Ray is your troll card. Anthony Davis probably pretty good. Anthony Davis is one of those cards. He's been good all year. Hasn't been great all year, but he's been very, very good all year. Jimmy's all right. I actually like the Jimmy Butler card. Don't get me wrong. It's just that we just got a free Dark Matter Jimmy Butler, and he's good, but I don't expect the 100 overall to be significantly better. Maybe if they give him T-Mac, Patty, or Ben Shepherd base, we'll be having a different discussion. But he needs that to be relevant, to be a leap over the Dark Matter, who I do think is a good card, who I do think is a playable card. I don't think there's anything wrong with Jimmy's jumper. I've had success with Jimmy online on my no money spent account. He plays very well for me. He definitely fits into that tier below Dr. J, Ron Artest, right? Which is that tier below Beasley and Glenn Robinson. And who am I? Do I put Paul George in there? Yeah, Paul. I don't put Paul George in that first tier. Maybe Paul George belongs in that second tier as well. I should probably do a tier list, huh? But yeah, this Jimmy, to get into that first or second tier, he needs a jumper change. Now let's go ahead and look at these LeBron James. All right, so with LeBron, the great news about LeBron is he does not have a bad card in the entire game. No matter what level of LeBron you're using, he is one of the best LeBron cards in the game. And they can all play small forward. So there is, like Wemby, there is no troll LeBron card because I do think that for the most part, small forward is actually his best position. Now, in terms of the point guard, here's what he needs. I don't think this point guard, LeBron James, is going to be the best point guard in the game. I think possibly the GOAT or the 100 overall, depending on their releases, they could get there. Because the bottom line is, with LeBron James's release, I think it's a fine release for a wing. But in terms of what you want at the PG position, he's not going to create at that super duper high level like the very best point guards in the game are going to be able to do. Right? So like even this Cade Cunningham, if he gets an animation upgrade, he might be insane at point guard. Whereas LeBron, he's going to be great in terms of going to the basket, but I don't think cheesing to the basket is the number one thing you want out of your point guard. I think you want to be able to defend the position and create 3-point shots. Those are the first two things. You got to run that offense. And then after that, everything else, is a bonus on top of that. So I will say, only 2 challenge games remain for Dark Matter coach Phil Jackson. I got to look at that Phil Jackson. Is that even good? I know one of them is not very good between Phil and Greg Popovich. I don't remember which one is not very good. I haven't been doing these challenges at all, so I got to check them out. But I will say, this free Opal LeBron card, I expect to be very good because similar to the Wemby, he's going to be a free Opal LeBron with the sped up jumper. And I do think that makes him good enough to play on virtually any lineup. I don't know how big of a difference, we'll analyze this tomorrow, there'll actually be between that Opal LeBron and the ones who can't play point guard, right? Because it's not that these cards aren't going to be better. It's just, is that a difference you're actually going to feel on the court? What's going to be the difference? Because LeBron all year has been so good at so many things. I would say the main thing I would be worried about is the SIGs. Does he get, juice SIGs between here? And that's the other thing that creates a less distance between these cards. They need to push these cards above these cards, which means these cards are going to have less distance between these cards. So unlike Wemby last week, the problem was he had 70 strength on all of his available cards, which makes him a compromise at that position. I don't think it makes him bad. Like I said, I think even just the pink diamond with a sped up jumper at 7'4" is I don't want to say viable. I think you're at a slight disadvantage, but it is a slight disadvantage. Whereas with this LeBron James card, I don't think you're at a disadvantage if you're playing this versus many of the available Dark Matter small forwards in the game. I can rattle off a bunch of them off the top of my head, like Paul Pierce and, just several other of those cards, like Sean Kemp. You know what I mean? A lot of those guys that can play small forward. Even Ray Allen, who is eligible as small forward, I would expect. I don't know if there's going to be point guard Ray Allen. If he's SGSF, I expect this Dark Matter to be easily better than this Ray Allen. I could be wrong, but that is my expectation as of right now. So the good news is, for the first time, I guess technically domination, which is a pretty long grind, but for the first time, you can easily get a LeBron James card in the game without spending a million MT or, grinding, I don't know how many, several hours. Somebody said it was like 16 or 15 hours of domination or whatever. I don't know if it's that long, but it is definitely a long time because those are all full-length 20-minute games. For the first time, you can go ahead and get yourself a LeBron James card, which is very, very awesome. And I do think this will be a usable LeBron James card. This card will be slightly better than that one. And these cards will be maybe whatever the next thing is over slightly better, maybe, noticeably better, but not notably better, if that makes any sense. Is it a change that will make a difference? I think for those of you who want to play him at point guard, that will be obviously the golden goose amongst the Dark Matters. And let's see if they give him an animation. Before we get out of here, let's go ahead and look at LeBron's animations on his various cards. I'm curious what they've done with him. All right, so we're going to look at his available 100 overall and look at these animations. So he has all of his own same animations on this card, and he gets Tim Hardaway combo moves, which is a massive upgrade over his regular combo moves. So I expect that to hold, and let's see what he got on the Dark Matter. Not the Galaxy Opal. Okay, so on this Galaxy Opal, the good one, the All-Star LeBron, which they just put out for free, which, if you watch this channel, not to even buy into that. Okay, so yeah, Kobe Bryant dribble style versus Kyrie Irving. Is this an upgrade? Yes. Is it a big upgrade? In my opinion, no, because with certain skills, you can close this gap very, very easily. And Kobe Bryant is an excellent, excellent dribble style. And there are things about the Kobe dribble style that we like over the Kyrie Irving dribble style, but Kyrie Irving is still the best. Motion style upgraded to Kawhi, that's fine, that's whatever. Size up Steve Francis, I do think this is a big deal because LeBron's size up is not very good. And I think this will be the biggest difference between this card and the Dark Matters. However, with Trey Escape and the John Wall moving step back, you don't have to do a lot of sizing up to be effective with LeBron James. You can build your entire game off of this Trey Escape and this John Wall step back. If you also had the Tim Hardaway combo moves, which we'll keep an eye on, we'll see if there are any upgrades in that regard, then you would really be talking about like, you can avoid sizing up with this particular card because of the rest of the options in his bag. And again, if you use the new tech that we discovered on this channel with the in and outs, you're good money because this guy's going to be going to the basket nearly as effectively as this guy. And as a shooter, they are identical, right? So the main thing is this card just has a little more sauce with this Steve Francis size up. That's the biggest deal. And the Tim Hardaway combo moves is a nice to have, but let's not pretend that people are doing combo moves all the time in the game. That is definitely not what's going on. So I expect the cards that are available for free or for cheap in the terms of the Opal is going to be flying out of packs if you are pulling packs. Those two cards will be probably very similar to this card, and they'll be just like this card. They'll be still pretty good, still better than a lot of the Dark Matters in the game, even though this card is several months old at this point. In terms of the Dark Matters, I expect them to be very similar to this card, who, same thing, it's a good card, it's a very, very good card, but the bottom line is without an upgraded shot base, he's not breaking the game at the point guard. He's a very good point guard. The best thing I think about this card, first of all, he's a LeBron James card. They're all very, very good. I'm not saying they're not very good. What I'm saying is if Glenn Rice was at the point guard, that's what you would want, right? That would be the best point guard in the game, and that's essentially what we're waiting for is a Glenn Rice type card at the point guard position. And so far, the only card that really fills that description at a high level is Shea, right? Shea is the one who really fits that description. So, like, if Zach LaVine had the behind the back, the Jamal Murray behind the back, I think he'd be a lot closer because that Zach LaVine card has a really, really nice release. But he's not. And so you have these other archetypes of cards like LeBron and Ben Simmons and guys like that who do a good job. The great thing about this card, which I'm finally getting to, is that he will be able to defend against a lot of the Giants at a much higher level than a 6'6 card. Because Shea holds his own very well, but he's not going to hold his own like LeBron James. So if you do have Glenn Rice, Dr. J, Ron Artest, Michael Beasley, Paul George, even if you have one of those knockout 2s and 3 at the 2s and 3s, right? I should say two of those. If you have two of those cards, then this card has a lot more value to you because as a slasher and a defender and a catch and shoot player, he becomes much better. And it's not that he can't create off the dribble. It's just he's not nearly as efficient doing it as some of those other cards. So that having been said, I'm looking forward to this LeBron card. I will say one more thing about his base and his upper. I like his jumper just fine. I think his jumper is good. It is definitely, getting outdated as we close out 2K24 and get to the end of the year. But the one big flaw in his jumper is on the catch and shoot. When he's moving on the catch and shoot, like if you're running a play or an action or if he's coming off a screen or something, he has a load up that is absolutely horrible that I don't even think should be in the game. Several of the cards in the game have it. The opposite would be Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler, almost no matter how he's moving, the ball goes right up. He doesn't get this massive slowdown. LeBron, sometimes, depending on when he catches the ball, the slowdown will be almost a full second long. And it's like, even if you're wide open, especially now that basically every card is 6'6 or above, you're not open anymore. And that's one of the main things. I know that seems like a niche situation, but in a close game where you run an action and you actually get open off of that action, if you see that LeBron James is the one that's catching it, you're like, oh man, that was 3 points that he just threw away because he decided to, shoot a bowling ball. And that is, that's something that I would say really makes me want to see at least this lower base get changed, which I do expect it to get changed in the upper tier cards that almost no one is going to get as per usual. And that is going to shut it down for me today, guys. Hope you enjoyed the content. Look forward for more news, cards, breakdowns, and commentary on 2K. Thank you all for the support, as we are well over 1,200 followers right now, which is absolutely amazing. This channel is only 3 months old. I can't believe we have gotten here so quickly. I appreciate all of your support, and we're going to keep it pushing. No matter how bad 2K treats us, we are here 10 toes down until 2K25, where we'll see how things go. Appreciate you guys. See you all in the next one, and peace.